there is all these new words out there supposedly trying to define what people are sexually or I don't know, transgender and trans this and cis. What the hell is cisgender? I don't even know. I heard that term the other day. And I'm like, what? I didn't even bother to look it up. But that's something that's also now in the, I don't know, by the time we get done with the LGBT community, it's going to, calling it the LGBT thing, it's going to be like 15 letters long because it's got to represent just about everything. I mean, even the asexuals are now, and asexuals, for those of you in Rush Limbaugh's Rhea Linda, asexual is supposed to be somebody who really isn't attracted to male or females. They're not attracted to the same sex or the opposite. They're not interested in sex. They have no sex drive. Those are trust me, they have a growing community. Now, some people might say, well, at least they're not going to catch any or spreading diseases, Rod. They're not going to have unwanted pregnancies and such. Yeah, but the whole point is that they're now considering themselves a sexual class or a sex. Male, female, asexual. I don't, so they're demanding to be recognized as a sex, the third sex. I looked, they have a document. I think it was on, last I knew, it was still on Netflix, called The Asexual. Look it up. Look, they're out there. But they're not the only ones. Now you've got, I don't even know what I've known what asexual is for a long time. There were people that weren't really interested in sex. I mean, we thought it was kind of weird and strange when I was in high school, but there are people who are like, they don't have a sex drive. Whatever the chemical or DNA component is, they're missing it. And that's fine. But it isn't a whole bunch of people. I mean, it's rare. But now we're supposed to we're making up stuff. Where did we come up with cisgender? And now, what tranny is now derogatory. You're not supposed to call them a tranny now. You're just supposed to, transgender male or transgender female. I'm not even sure. Is Bruce Jenner a transgender male or transgender female? I'm not sure how that works. I try to keep up, folks, just for you, so I make sure that you have the right information. But even sometimes even for me, sometimes this stuff just flies right by me or goes over my head and I miss it. Bruce Jenner is a transgendered female. Isn't that really an oxymoron? Either he's a she or he's not. Yeah, folks. Because there's no video here, I'm literally scratching my head because I'm trying to wrap my logical brain around this illogical kind of crap. So, therefore, if Bruce is really a woman, then there is no trans there at all, right? He's a she. So why would we identify him as a transgendered woman instead of a woman? It seems to me that they're labeling themselves, but we're not supposed to label them. I guess I'm all right. I'm thinking about this logically. I'm going to try to wrap my brain around it so that we all can understand this type of thing together. And don't think, I know I'm probably going to get, all kinds of stuff saying that Rod is homophobic and all that kind. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand the idiocy of you people out there on the left. Now, you're running around saying that, if I call, they're calling me homophobic Rod, you're just homophobic if you don't call him Caitlyn. Okay. So you're saying that Bruce, the male, is now Caitlyn, the female. So Caitlyn is now a female. She is a woman. Well, then why wouldn't you just call Caitlyn a woman? Why do you got to add this trans before the one, transgender? Why? I don't know. Should we start saying birth gendered woman? If they were born a woman and they want to be a woman, should we say birth gender? I mean, that makes no sense to say transgendered if she's really just a woman now. She's a woman. That's plain and simple. That's it. No pre or post description necessary. Right? That would be my logical thought. But there is a reason behind this. Because the left wants to divide. And in order to divide, they have to come up with all these different subcategories. Because if you can subcategorize everybody, well, then all of these wonderful people now become minorities. And all these wonderful minorities need minority-type protection from the federal and state governments. From the majority. Well, if everybody's a minority, who the hell's the majority? You keep breaking society down into these smaller and smaller bits, and everybody's a part of one of these small bits. Who the hell's the majority then? There isn't a majority anymore. Everybody's a freaking minority. But the rub is that because they're trying to make everybody a minority and they want to make all these minority-based laws, it's so they can control you. It's all about, divide, and it is about conquer, divide and conquer. So now if we have all of these different labels, and all these different identifiers, well, now we can start going after, a specific laws to target. So, now you can't, we have gay marriage. Well, okay, so we have gay marriage. Well, what about gay rights? Well, we have gay rights now, but what about tranny rights, transgender rights? Well, what do you mean? I already thought they had rights. Well, no, because, what they're telling us, what you're really saying when you're saying somebody's a transgendered woman, is that they're not really a woman. And so now you want special rights for a guy trying to be a woman who really isn't a woman. That's what you're saying. And I know people are going to come back at me and say, no, that's not it. She's a woman. Well, then just call her woman. And if Caitlyn really is a woman, well, she doesn't need special rights. All she has to do is say, I'm a woman, and we've already got rights for women. Right? Think about it for a second, logically. If Caitlyn Jenner really is a woman, then she's already protected under the rights that women have. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just being too damn logical about this, but that is the truth. But they want to divide this whole notion. Well, we don't want to divide. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to divide. The only thing is that the reason why you don't want to say boys and girls is because the poor teacher up there cannot stand up in class and say boys, girls, trannies, or transgendered male, transgendered female, asexual, cisgender, and blah, blah. They can't do that. Because at some point, if a teacher does that, a teacher is probably going to be slapped with, discrimination suit or something, or be disciplined for being discriminatory. You can't say boys and girls because that's discriminatory to all the LGBT, A, B, C, D, E, F, Gs. Look, that's the way it's going. Because they want to separate. So they can get all these special laws, but then they want to lump us all together. We're all just human. We're all of the human race. We shouldn't be separated. We should all be one big happy family. Well, you're being hypocritical by saying that because you want to label every single one of us. Every time I look at a government form, it seems like, list your race. It seems like that list of races grows. How about race human? How about that? Because we got to know, you can't be of Asian descent anymore. You got to be of Asian Chinese descent, or Asian Japanese, or Asian North Asian, or Asian Polynesian, or Asian Southeast Asian, or Southwest Asian. I mean, there's so many different Asians in there. I'm just wondering when they're going to change the African American one, or African American, or your African, or your South African, North African. I'm just surprised they don't have all that there yet. I'm sure it's coming, though. I'm sure it's coming. But I digress. All I wanted to do is tell you about when your kids go back to school. They're going to be going into a classroom where, the HRC, the Human Rights Campaign, is issuing these booklets or back-to-school guides to all these wonderful teachers. And a lot of these teachers are young teachers, mind full of mush, straight out of college or whatever it is that they do in order to learn to be a teacher. And they get certified to be a teacher. And they want to get tenure, so they have to do whatever, the principal and the hierarchy in the school says that they should do. So they're going to be looking at this, I shouldn't say boys or girls. And they're going to fall in line, and your kid's going to come home scratching their head, Mom, I don't know if I'm a boy or a girl anymore. And you're going to look at them and say, what the hell are you talking about? Well, here you go. This is the point and the reason. Plain and simple. Look, before you divide and conquer. Now, here's the basic tenet of how you do divide and conquer. First, you shut down the original historical content. Male, female, boy, girl. You shut that down. And then you confuse. You confuse the hell out of people. Okay, well, you can't say boy or girl, because what? If you're a boy, you can be gay, you could be transgendered male, you could be cisgender, asexual male. You're not just a boy anymore. So you confuse people. You're not just a girl anymore. You confuse people. And so when people are trying to wrap their brains around stuff and try to figure out, what exactly is everybody? Well, then comes the next part, name calling. Labeling you negatively. Oh, you're a bigoted, homophobic, whatever. And you're most likely not. You're just trying to figure it all out because you don't know anymore. But because you don't know, and they're saying, well, you should know, and because you don't know, you're a bigoted, homophobic, whatever. And then it's sort of like capitulation because you're saying, well, I'm not bigoted, I'm not racist, I'm not homophobic, I'm accepting of everybody, I just don't understand. We see. So what we need now is laws to keep people like you from discriminating against everybody. And then you, because you're saying, well, I'm not racist or homophobic or bigoted or what have you, so go ahead and have the law. It's not going to affect me. That's classic, folks. It's how they do it every single time. If you don't accept gay marriage, you're homophobic. No, really. Now, you may not be. You just may want only marriage to be between the original meaning of the word, between one man and one woman. But no, you can't have that. Because that doesn't include same-sex marriage. Well, here's the twist, though, when it comes to that kind of thing. Well, now we've got the polyamorous people. Well, what about us? What if we want to have a threesome marriage? Well, you can't do that. Well, why not? And the LGBT community starts scratching their head and say, well, because, you're not one-on-one. So I guess according to them, marriage is between, one man or one woman, or one man and one man, or one woman and one woman. And now I'm really going to confuse things. Or maybe it's between one transgendered woman and one transgendered man, or one transgendered man and one transgender. If you're a transgendered woman and dating a transgendered woman, does that make you a lesbian or does that make you gay? You see where the confusion comes in? And the only way that the left is going to unravel my confusion is by making a law that says certain things. Don't doubt me, folks. Don't doubt me.